were going to offer us some demonstrations throughout the way, and I have a note here that you have something to demonstrate now. Would you like to give us a demonstration on some Alexander work that maybe relates to what we've been talking about?
Yeah, so I'll give everyone a moment to stand up. And now, as you're standing, I want you to find one place in your body that today, right now, feels a little bit uncomfortable or tight or stiff, or some place that's giving you a little signal. So what I want you to do is the place that you found, I don't want you to try and make it better. I want you to just notice the discomfort there right now, or the stiffness or tightness. Just notice that. Don't try and change it. And then what I want you to do is I want you to walk around a little bit and just noticing that discomfort. Don't try and get rid of it. Just keep your attention on that discomfort as you're walking around. So you're walking around and you're just like, oh yeah, I can feel that area is tight, stiff. Yeah, I feel that. Just keep your attention on the stiffness and discomfort. And as you're walking around and keeping your attention on the stiffness, the discomfort there, just have a little bit of a sense of how your walking feels in general as you're doing that. Okay. Now come back to standing one place, and you can let that area go from your attention. And now I want you to find another area, but this time an area at least compared to that place, an area that feels a bit easier. It can be the end of a little finger. And now what I want you to do is to keep your attention on the ease in that area as you walk around. Just keep noticing, feeling the ease in that area as you walk around. So you're walking around and you're just enjoying feeling the ease in that area as you're walking, enjoying that area that's loose and free and light. And just notice as you're enjoying the ease in that area, how your walking feels to you in general. Okay, come on back and you can get comfortable again. And I wonder for how many of you did you notice that when you were focusing on the area that I asked you to focus on that felt uncomfortable and tight, did your walking feel a bit more uncomfortable or stilted or lacking flow or heavy? And then was there a difference when you were focusing on the area, the sense of ease? Did that change how your walking felt? Did your walking feel a little bit lighter, easier, freer?
When I brought my attention to my neck, every time I stepped on my right leg, I could feel the line of tension moving through the calves, up the hamstrings, through the deeper hip muscles, up my opposite paraspinals, right to my neck. But as I was bringing my focus to the area of discomfort, it was as though an ice cube was melting just because I was looking at it. And then what happened, I was witnessing how, now that I'm paying attention to it, my walking started to change, to adjust itself so that it didn't keep irritating that area. Then the area that felt most kind of relaxed to me was my abdominal wall. So when I started doing walking and various movements, because I have such a restricted space, focusing on my abdominal wall, it's as though my whole body oriented its movement strategy toward the relaxed sense that I had in my abdominal wall, and I could feel my neck's tension further dissipating.
Yes, exactly. And almost everyone will get that kind of experience from it. And it's great that we notice tension, discomfort, pain, because it's telling us something needs to change. We need to look at something. We need to notice it. But what we all tend to do is we tend to stay with it, to focus on it, to try and shift around, make a change, to check it out. So we end up isolating to that area of tension or discomfort. And it then affects the whole rest of our body. And in fact, our body tends to pull over to that area. Our head and spine tends to pull to that area where our attention is going. When I asked you all to find a place that felt relatively easy or a bit easy, what happened, at least when I was watching you, Paul, what happened even as I asked you that, you got easier. And I will wager you got easier even before you found the place. Because I've been doing this a lot with people.
Yeah, like I said, as soon as I put my awareness on it, because it's uncomfortable, I wasn't trying to fix anything. I was just witnessing it. But the analogy was, it was as though an ice cube was melting and the ice cube would represent the tension. So somehow just putting my awareness on it was already, I think,
letting it go a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think my desire is to not have the pain there. So my intention, be it background intention, is what's happening. So I was really looking at the alignment of my body. Like, am I holding my head in a weird spot? But when I went to adjust my posture, any movement made it worse. So I was already in balance. Then, as I said, I felt the muscular chain reaction from my right foot all the way through the kinetic chain, and it stopped right in the pain. But as I kept walking, it was almost as though the rest of my body was saying to me, you don't have to move that way. And so I just let my body start doing what it wanted to do. And I noticed the way my feet and toes were working with the ground started to change all by themselves. It was like I was just witnessing it. Like when I use infant development, you're accessing neural pathways that are in the spinal cord. So the brain and the body already knows how to fix the problem. You just got to put it in the right movement pattern to let it do it. But once you had me focus on my abdominal wall, I took my awareness off the pain and went to the area of comfort in my body, of ease in my body. And it was almost as though my body took that as a message. Well, if I just take direction from that part, then everybody else seemed to say, yeah, that works just fine. Let's do that. And then all of a sudden the pain started dropping even more. And now I don't have any discomfort. I just have a sense of warmth, like there's a lot of blood flow, and maybe like someone's worked on my neck or something.
Yeah, it's interesting when I've done this with hundreds and hundreds of people. And when I ask them, if I'm watching them, I ask them, where do you sense a little bit of ease? I will see them change immediately with that question.
Yes.
And then they feel the result of that change. They feel, oh, well, I sense that here, and then I'll say, well, walk and see how that affects you. And it will change the ease. It activates that sense through your whole body, where the other way we're sort of activating the sense of tension. And so it's just a little way where you can switch your attention and get a really constructive, good effect in your system.